All right, it is 6 o'clock. Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome all. You guys ready down there? All right. You guys had a chance to look over the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Anyone see any additions or corrections?
I do not. I will make a motion. We accept the minutes as presented.
I do not either. I will second that.
And I will vote yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, and then we have a special meeting. Same thing, anybody see anything that needs overlooked? The special meeting was concerning the engine in the ambulance that we had to get approved, get it fixed, so we had a special meeting for that. I have no additions or corrections. What about you guys?
I don't. I'll
I
make
don't.
a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll second.
Yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, financials. Any corrections or changes to those? Any questions on them from anyone?
I do not. I will make a motion that we accept the financial as accepted or presented. Sorry.
I will second.
And I will vote yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Communications.
We received notice that Bob Howard is going to step down this year from the health board. They're having a Portage County District Advisory Council meeting on March 22nd, 2023 at the Ravenna Elks. Registration's at 5:30, dinner is at 6, and meeting is at 6:30 for anybody that would like to attend. That's all I have.
I have a couple of communications, but I'll bring forward when we get to the item in our agenda. All right, let's go to fire department.
All right, well, today is day 44 of the year. We ran 51 calls for the year. Since the last meeting, we ran 43 calls, 5 motor vehicle accidents, 2 fires, 1 public assist, 1 road hazard, 1 CO call, 26 EMS calls. We went mutual aid 6 times, and 1 smoke fire investigation. Apparatus 1411 is still waiting on the engine. I was not able to get another estimate for the valves on the tanker. I got the estimate from Fireback who built the camper, or built the tanker for $3,000 to fix both of the valves that are sticking. I checked them again the other day, and the wind driver side is still sticking. You have to kind of bang on it to get it to work. The one person that did respond back for an estimate said that since he would have to get all the equipment from Riverland Fireback, that they would probably be a lot cheaper. Just the fact that he'd still have to buy the parts and stuff for them. So he recommended that that's where it would go. Unfortunately, it does have to go down there for the repair. I haven't set up a time yet to schedule it, just because I think I'm going to wait until spring
right.
for the winter.
Yeah, they can't come on site and do it.
Yeah.
We asked that and they can't do it, so.
It's got to be all
Okay,
four
well, they got your tools and everything ordered out.
Is that down like Philly?
No, it's just Apple Creek.
Well, yeah, that way.
Pretty good height to take it,
Yeah,
but if that's where it's gotta go, it's gotta go.
So, as far as station maintenance, we've been working with a design for addition for the station that would house a meeting room, chief's office, bunk room, restrooms. I think we've come up with a very cost-effective, and I strongly believe that this is the time to move forward. We have a good plan for the septic system. There's no other outstanding loans. We've already finished paying off the current building this year. So now I think this would be the time, that's what we needed. I have a call into the fire marshal's office for a loan to the fire marshals, but that loan application won't be ready until this spring. But I'll keep up on that. But I think now is the time that we should, look for somebody to design it properly so we can get some estimates and move forward. As far as training, Mitch Graft would like to attend the paramedics class at the UH. He's going to split it with the other two departments that he works for, Palmar and Berlin. The cost for the class is $6,500. Our portion would be $2,166.66. I recommend we pay that. He's a good responder. He works at least 2 shifts a week. He's a top 5 responder last year. I am currently working on a policy for training over and above what is required to be on the department. That would require the employee to work off their money by duty shifts and or volunteer responses. He's willing to sign such a policy if needed. We've done that in the past.
I think we have a contract.
Yeah, I think I'd like to clean it up and clear it up a little bit. And I'm looking at something that would be like a 1 year per $1,000 expense so that it makes more sense. I was hoping to have that by this meeting, but couldn't get my brain to work and wrap around it. I got my notes set and I just gotta get it put together.
Our share was gonna be what, 2,000 what?
166.60.
166.60.
Grant will pay the rest of it, or where's the rest of it?
Berlin and Palmar.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna split it with 3 towns.
I'm good with that, then. Very good.
Yeah, as long as we get the contract and they get that signed, I'm okay with that.
Well, let's make a motion to, let him go to that training and everything while we're in that subject.
Yeah, I think that having a universal policy that's applied to everyone,
Yeah.
just so that's in writing, I think that would be a great
Yeah,
idea.
we have a contract that we used on the last 2 paramedics that we sent, actually the last 3. And, it might need a little cleaned up, but basically there is one that we use standard, so it pretty much basically says, once they complete their training, they will stay working, and they'll do so many hours with the township.
Right.
Not to where we're paying and they're leaving and going somewhere else.
Looking at the policy probably just needs cleaned up and clarified a little bit,
Yep.
so.
We'll run it by legal after we.
Did you
get
make
it
that
done.
motion?
I made the motion to.
I'll second.
Let him go to that training.
All right.
Roll call,
Finance-
Tiffany.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Brian.
Finances, for the last 3 weeks, I've been going over the finances. Me and the assistant chiefs feel that we can cut some more out of the budget with radios, phones, alerting system, and others. I'm working closely with the Cost Recovery Corp., which is our MBA billing company. They're kind of a subsidiary with our EMS billing. Because right now I have about $4,000 outstanding on billing through the MBAs. So I'm trying to find out, what I'm doing wrong or what we can do better to make sure we get those paid. A lot of insurances don't cover that, so even though we bill it, if they're residents, they're not going to have to pay. And when they're not residents, it's just a matter of going through the getting them to pay it. So that's what I've been doing the last week or so.
Our collections company does pretty good on collecting what they can get.
Yeah, the EMS side of it, yeah, the MVA side is relatively new. We have been able to, Brian has been able to get some money in the last couple of years through it, so it's just a little at a time, and I just like to try to get it more if I can. So I've changed a little bit about how I'm doing it, and hopefully that will help, and then she's going to look through what I've done to see if I'm missing something or something that would make it go quicker. So hopefully we can get that wrapped up and get some more money into the budget. Equipment, we have received the SCBA training has begun. Those are the breathing apparatus that we applied for the grant for last year. I believe all the pieces and parts are in now, and we can start training. We're hoping to put those in service by March 1st.
No one's trained in that yet?
Yes, we went through one training, we
Okay.
only got 3 or 4 people left hanging that wasn't able to make it.
Sure.
But we also want to do more training with even the people that stayed there. I mean,
Okay.
it's kind of a new system.
Very good.
So, and then we got to get the masks assigned because each person individually will have their own mask. Also, we've been awarded the Ohio Division Forestry grant for $10,000 to purchase a UTV with firefighting equipment. The cost of UTVs, $21,384. The grant's going to pay $10,000 of that. And they're giving us permission to go ahead and start March 13th on the purchasing. So I would like to get permission to.
We were involved in this, please, we got a lot of people who are explaining what that grant is for and what we will receive for that grant.
Okay, that grant is for a UTV, all-terrain vehicle that's going to have a small firefighting pump and tank in the back that we can take out into the woods and fields and put grass fires out. We've currently been using a four-wheeler modified with a tank on the front of it, which is kind of cumbersome. It worked for what it was for, but now it's getting old, and this is a much better. It holds more water, it pumps more.
You can actually probably slide a cot on the back of it.
And
Does this
then
have
there
a
is other
capability?
things that we could do in the future to make it a rescue type vehicle or, and we'll start looking for grants to try to add to it and stuff like that.
How old is the four-wheeler we're currently using? About 30 years?
Probably not that old, but pretty close.
Pretty
Yeah,
close.
it was, back in the 90s, 98 or
It
something like that.
it served its purpose well for a long time.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's,
Well, I'll make a motion, we accept the grant and we proceed with the purchase.
I will second that.
I will vote yes.
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
okay, after going through the budget, I found that our SCBA filling station has not been checked for 2 years. Hasn't had its maintenance or been checked over, so I'd like to get them scheduled in March. They come out every March, or they're out in this area. It's $895.60. It's a breathing air system. I checked around, and most all the fire departments around use the same company. And some of them have to come out twice a year, once a year. Some even have to check 4 times a year. But right now, I want them to come out, go over it. We do have a little issue with the hour meter they're gonna fix, so
That's a once a year we're gonna do to start.
that's
That's changing the filters. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve that.
We should have a contract with breathing air.
yeah, it was canceled.
It's canceled?
Yes.
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Okay, now what it's, let's see. Okay, I would also like to, along with that breathing air system, our new Scott Air Packs does not match up to our breathing fill system. It's gonna take an adapter to get that hooked up. We currently can fill 2 tanks at once, but I'm only gonna put 1 adapter in for the new tanks so that we can still fill the old tanks with the other side. That's gonna be $525 through MSA, our tank people. So,
You need that now, right?
yeah.
I'll make the motion, we purchase that adapter.
I'll
Second. Yes.
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
All right, under public relations, reminder, our river safety class is March 11th at the station, 9 to 5. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources will be putting on the class, and I'm working on UH to be providing the lunch for that.
Who can come to that?
That is, anybody can come to that. It's basically designed for kids 12 years and older, up to adults, to get your license to be able to drive a boat. Under Ohio law, you have to have a license to drive a boat if you were born after 1982 or
Something like that, yeah.
So it's a good informal class, even if you don't need the license. A lot of good safety and stuff on that. And call the station, 584-2515 number to register. I think I have about 10 people registered right now.
How many people will you take?
They usually take 25. as long as I let them know ahead of time so they can get them on the books that they need for it. And you can take the test right afterwards and get your license registered for that same day. And also, plans are underway for breakfast with the Easter Bunny, March 25th, 8 a.m. at the Town Hall. There will be baskets to raffle, 50-50, drawing, and photos of the Easter Bunny. And
Is there a cost to that for people to come?
Yes.
I forget what that was.
That's the Sirenet's putting that on, and it's a fundraiser for the Jaws of Life. The cost, I believe, is kids 8 and above is 8 and above. So kids 8 and above and adults is $10. And I believe 4 to 8 is $5, and below 4 is free. Don't hold me to that. I don't have the broker.
Okay, yeah, just so people know that when they come in, there is a cost.
We already have 30 drafted baskets.
Very good. That's March 25th, so we need to put it on our sign up here at the circle sometime or early March, get that on there so that we know.
There were some really nice raffle baskets last year.
There's some really
You
nice.
still accepting raffle baskets?
Absolutely.
If anyone would like to donate a raffle basket to that cause for the fire department, I'm sure they would be more than willing to accept it.
You good there?
I think so, Scott, you have anything I might have forgot?
Ed, you want to go with them?
Yeah, for 1 second, I want to go back 1
Oh,
second.
I do have, wait. I do
Go ahead,
have
I'll let you
one
go,
thing.
then I got to backtrack just a little bit.
This was just handed to me, so I didn't get my report. Scott interviewed a lady for the fire department. She's an EMT. She lives in Alliance. She works for a private ambulance service now, and she's currently going through firefighter school. Scott has interviewed her, and she is also friends with one of our other members we just hired. She's a lady that actually stopped and helped us with some hose one time when we lost alongside the road. So I'd like to ask us to appoint her for probation.
Is she able to work hours at the station?
That is the plan, yes.
She's
I
starting.
mean, has she given any inclinations on how many hours she can, once a month, twice a month, once a week?
I know you guys are working on a policy of what they have to do. So I guess I'm asking where she's gonna fall into this. So she's not able to work hours. I'm not sure that I'm on board with it.
We'll work that through the probationary period, but I'm asking them to work roughly 2 hours, or 2 shifts a month to get started, and then volunteer, that adds to it.
How long probationary period?
1 year.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I'll make a motion that we accept this person on our department.
I'll second.
The more the merrier, yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Is this for Nancy or is this for Kristy?
Yes.
You done then?
I believe
I just want to backtrack. You mentioned that you guys were working on plans for the station and everything,
Yes.
and we kind of just blew over it. Nobody said anything from the audience or here. At this time, I'm not willing to talk about that much. We're in the process of hiring a chief. So I would like to have a new chief on board before we officially move forward with doing that or not doing it or whatever. Not that we can't keep looking at it, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it until we have a new chief on hand. He's going to have whoever the new chief is going to want some input into what we do with that building up there. That's my opinion.
I agree.
I didn't mean to gloss it over and just.
No, I figured
when
you'd
you
talk
said
about
that,
that,
but I don't think right now is the appropriate time. Couple months, yeah. All right, as everyone knows, we've got temporary chiefs, that have been on duty for a while, doing a great job, getting on well, accomplishing some things. We have decided though, a couple months ago, that we need to hire someone for that position, permanent position. This will be a part-time job. We have quite a few things down here and everything. I don't know how, Tiffany, do you want to go in depth in this a little bit, or what we're requiring,
Yeah, just for the.
They can get a copy.
Once we vote on it, it'll be open to the public,
Right.
but just some of the things that we're looking for in a new fire chief, We are looking for somebody who is invested in the department and growing the department and members and morale. We definitely need somebody who is EMT trained and, you know, a firefighter at minimal requirements, but somebody who can take off where Vaughn has left or will be leaving. Thank you so much for all that you've done for the department. But, you know, we want to grow the department, and we want somebody who has the same vision that we do. So we do have an advertisement that we will be voting on today that will be public once we all agree. So you can all see that, and if anybody is interested or wants to spread the word, you know, we will be accepting applications.
So along with that being said, we do have something that we came up with right here that we'd like to put in the newspaper, which is required to do on some websites and at the hospital, anywhere we can get this out there so people know about it. As opposed to putting everything on this paper, that's gonna cost a fortune to do it, so we came up with just a shrink to let people know that this job is available. We're gonna call this a packet, which we will make available to anyone that applies for the job. We will make this available by email and or personal pickup.
I guess what we need to decide is how long we will be accepting applications.
I think a minimum of 3 weeks. I'd like to have it done before, at least get the deadline in before our next meeting, and then possibly set up I wouldn't say an emergency meeting, but maybe a meeting to interview prior to our next meeting. So whatever date that runs into.
Maybe we can go over some and maybe eliminate some, maybe move some a little closer to the top, just so we don't have, we're gonna see how many we get to. If we got 2 or 3, but if we got 15, 20, I don't know, we're gonna have to somehow eliminate it down. We'll be in contact with the prosecutor, the most fair and legal way to do that, which I think is kind of up to us how we do that.
I kind of maybe go through March 4th is the deadline. Our meeting's on the 13th. And then maybe we can squeeze a meeting in the week of the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th, and 10th. At least maybe narrow it down by then.
So we want to run it until when, March 4th?
March 4th, and then I would say that, I don't know I know Mondays are good for you. What other days are good for you? Monday?
Depends. Monday's always good.
So, and that just to give us a lot of time to the 4th through the 6th.
I'll make a motion that we post this
Yeah.
up until...
And deadline.
Up till and including March 4th. At 5 o'clock March 4th, we will accept no more applications.
5 o'clock p.m. March 4th.
Yes.
You make that a motion?
Yes, I will make that motion that we get this advertised and we can deal with the other stuff as we get applications in or whatever. We can call for a special meeting to do that, interview, whatever. So,
I'll second that.
Yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed?
yes.
Yes.
Not to end the subject of this, but where all do we want to advertise this? The Record Courier is required.
Social media, I think Edinburgh, Palmyra, Suffield, whoever has social media, Facebooks, townships, I think most of them do. I think we should advertise there. The paramedics EMT rooms at University Hospital and Alliance.
Tiffany had someone to contact us, head of the Portage County Fire Chiefs Association.
Which hopefully they would distribute that among the fire departments as well.
Right, so I think right there with everybody's Facebook page, and I'm sure this I don't know if anybody here knows if Palmyra has their own Facebook page, Edinburgh, Berlin Center, Marlboro, all those have it, so.
There's an Ohio fire job.
Yeah, so I think if we did it that way, and then the hospitals, and of course word of mouth, and then you have that contact.
And we'll get it up in the hospitals too. We'll post it on the front door.
I will take it to Alliance Wednesday.
I'll take it to Ravenna here within the next several days.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's set up a date, actually, since we're on the subject, because unless you guys want to wait and look at your schedules too.
No.
Well, as far as what, the interviews?
Yeah, but, or we could just do that after. We don't have to go.
Yeah, can we wait?
Yeah, we can wait.
Maybe a week or so?
Fine.
Then we'll call each other and find out
Yes.
what works for them. Because again, you know for a fact Monday, but if we deadline it on the 4th, it
Then
gets,
the next meeting is Monday.
well, no, if we did it on the 4th, the 6th is the next Monday. It's only 2 days away for us to look at all the resumes and whatnot. So I don't know if you had anything 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th even
I can look right now.
during that week.
The 9th and 10th.
Are you good?
What month is that?
March.
Switch. The 8th.
The 8th is?
The 8th is, the Wednesday, the 8th I can do.
Okay, so you want to set that meeting up now to
We can,
first interviews? 8th at what time?
anytime.
Ed,
Kristy, Nancy, I'm good anytime.
you guys good anytime?
5 o'clock,
6 o'clock, whatever you want.
It's Wednesday, at
I'm
8th.
good.
You can make it at 5, Kristy?
Yeah.
Let's
Start at 5?
Wednesday at 5.
Okay, so then we'll have a special meeting Wednesday, the 8th at 5 p.m. for first interviews.
Okay. This will be a public meeting, anyone who's welcome to come. But what we do is everyone comes in the room, we pick a name out and we take them into our room and us three, and we interview them and everything and go to the next person so everyone has an opportunity to present himself. But anyone who's a public meeting, you can come. Obviously, we won't make a decision that night, but it will be an information gathering meeting, so. All right,
Okay, that's good for the fire department?
let's go to road department since TJ's here.
Department, very little snow and ice removal this year, been fairly decent. We have been doing a lot of additional repairs on roads, put down a little over 7 ton of cold patch as of now, just doing minor repairs to get us through. Upon inspection today, there's an 18-inch culvert on Wagner Road that will need to be, the old concrete one, it's starting to separate.
Where at in Wagner?
Wagner, about 800 foot west of Bandy, by 93.
Oh, way back there, okay.
So it's on the edge, and so we did, last 8 inches of it. It's got a temporary repair on it now.
Do we have the material on hand to fix it?
I believe we do have 18 inch, but the worst case we have 15, so.
Contact Oops and
Yeah.
get the road checked out and everything whenever you guys
They'll
can.
have marked within 48 hours. So they got a call today.
All right.
So they'll have done 48 hours for us. Then we can get out there and get that issue taken care of.
Okay,
We did, we've been doing sign installs, road by road, little by little. A lot of signs to get sorted and together. In addition, did some repairs on our road roller. The inside of the tank was rotted. Took it apart and fiberglass sealed everything on the inside. Just got that back together, so it'll be ready this spring when we start running the hot mix and doing some additional patching.
since we have a lot of people, I'll elaborate on the signs just a little bit, that there's gonna be people that's gonna have signs show up in front of their house that were never there before.
Correct.
We applied for a grant to get these signs, they all have to be high vis now. By a certain date, we have to do this. If we wouldn't have received this grant, we could have paid for these. We got, what, 600 signs, 700 signs, something like that.
Yeah. and
Along with that comes the Portage County engineers come out and did a road study with us, went around and they showed us everywhere a sign has to be under a high revised code. How high it has to be, where it's located, how far from intersections. So there's gonna be some people that's gonna have a sign in your front yard now that was never there before. Nothing we can do about it. It's gotta be in a road right away. But there's gonna be signs that were never there before we didn't have.
What kind of sign?
Road signs.
Curves.
Slow moving, or slow area,
Anyway,
stop signs, curve ahead.
Anywhere there's gonna
High-risk
be
areas that
high-risk
need
area.
signage.
Anywhere you have a curve, there's gonna be a lot more additionals, because there has to be, some chevron curves, leading up to it, there has to be big arrows and, advance notice warnings. So anywhere, you got a road like, Hawthorne over there, a lot of short curves right there, it's a low speed, but, that's all somebody's yard right there, so it's gonna kind of look really congested in that area. So just kind of wanted to give everybody a heads up.
So we
That's
anticipate.
kind of out of our hands
we
where they get
we
placed.
anticipate some grumpy people over it, but this is under our revised code. We had to agree to do this in order to get that grant.
We have till July of '24
to
have
get
that
these all done.
completed. And if some comes up for some reason they aren't completed, they allow a 1-year extension.
That's a big project. All the old signs have to be taken out, not only the sign, but the post and everything. There's a different post that goes in, the whole shot. So this is a big project that these guys are working on as they get the chance, so. What else? We need to buy any gravel or stone or anything, road patch?
The road patch, a 7-ton, is, that we've used since the last meeting. I believe that's around 150 a ton, is what it's running this year. So if we need to approve it, I know we did it on kind of a blanket in the past, if we had to get it for action, so.
Did we approve 15 ton for regular patch?
15 loads.
15 loads, was that cold patch or was that?
That's the regular hot mix that we're doing in the summer.
In the summer, okay.
So we're good with that then.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, the only other thing, I gotta get some calls in, trying to get people to give me some quotes for some stone for the cemeteries. Go down tomorrow's scheduled, since we're waiting on hoops on that pipe.
What do we
Go down and
figure?
do some repairs on the driveway at Worcester Cemetery.
We'd like to put what, we need about 200 tons to cover all the driveways and everything, okay.
Number 9, white limestone, yeah, about 200 ton to do,
All right.
two cemeteries. We'll see what that number comes up to. It's
Yeah, that's all.
probably gonna be substantial, but
It probably is.
we'll have an idea.
$4,000.
$6,000?
$6,000.
That'd be on low end, yeah, because I think
Yeah.
it's, right now it's about
34, 35,
30, I was gonna say 35 probably.
and that was just 6,000 based on 30, so, yeah.
So, just like to get those topped, cleared and topped before Memorial Day, type of thing. So we'll wait till we get the rest of the numbers in and see what they come up with. We're checking with a couple of different vendors to see if anybody can do better on it.
Okay, while you're here, let's go to buildings and grounds. I have some stuff to go over, and if there's anything additional, we can pop up, okay? Everyone's probably aware that on February 2nd, a vehicle entered our circle up there and knocked over our old memorial in there. There's 1812 on there, Revolutionary War plaques on there. And he was going so fast, he actually lifted it out of the ground and moved it about 13 foot before it ever hit the ground again. I was made aware that that happened. I went up there and got pictures and everything. I have a number for the State Highway Patrol for the incident report. I'm in the process of getting in quotes to redo the electric around that. All the lights that we just put on last year were all destroyed, so they're going to have to be replaced. There's going to be some groundwork that's going to have to be done up there. The monument itself is, I met with the monument company today. They said it is not, in their opinion, it's not repairable, that will make it last. I called our insurance company and asked them if they would be the front runner for this. Our insurance people are going to, they want me to get all the estimates to do all the repairs that we can do that are covered under their policy. Forward to them, they will investigate that, see what they can pay for, what they feel would be right, which a new monument's $25,000, I'm gonna guess. I don't know that. That monument company today is gonna quote us up a price somewhat like what's on there, and take the plaques off that other old one and mount onto the new monument rather than engrave them in there. So some of those plaques are pretty old. So that's where we're at now. Our insurance company indicated that once we come to an agreement on that, they will probably issue us a check to move forward from our insurance company, and they will in turn go after the driver's insurance company. Incidentals probably won't be covered, like ground repair. The cement, we're going to tear up more ground and everything when we take the cement out. The sidewalk's broken also, got to be replaced.
Will they cover that?
Our agent was looking to see if he would. He said if not, their company, his automobile insurance will have to cover that. He said they will do everything they can, and then they will go after their insurance company to pay us separate for anything that we don't already get paid for.
Okay, so the incidentals, the topsoil, the seed, all that stuff that's gonna need to be redone, because again, once to lift that monument, we're gonna have to get a piece of equipment in
Yeah.
there. There's gonna be a lot to that. Is that insurance company, our insurance gonna give you the incidental, or do we have to go after his insurance company? or-
Anything that our company will not cover, they will go after their insurance company to pay the incidentals. We don't even have to do that.
So once we do that, can we contact the prosecutor?
Yes.
See what we can do from that point?
Yeah, we shouldn't
see what
have
he
to.
can-
We shouldn't have to. The insurance company should be able to work that out, that they pay for everything else. That's our last resort if we don't get the satisfaction we need and the money we need to repair the damage that someone else did. Then our prosecutor, I've talked to him, he said that's when we come to the prosecutor, they will make it a legal matter then, and then they will pursue it. So that's what I spent quite a lot of time on that working on. That's not gonna happen tomorrow. It's probably gonna be, we'll probably get it set up in a month or so, back up, but it's gonna be months before we get a new monument there and get this all worked out, but.
Well, the plaques that are on there look okay to me.
Right.
It's the actual
Right.
monument itself.
So we're gonna take those plaques and put them on a new monument.
Okay.
And if any of the plaques, the one that's laying on the ground, we can't see, they can reproduce that plaque exactly as it is if they have
If it's messed up.
if it's messed up. So that's where that's at. I met with Todd Keats in Ravenna, regional planning guy. I questioned him on how we can get our old town hall up here on a state and/or national historical register. He is looking into that to see the process. He's going to get together with us. There will be a small cost to get all that paperwork and stuff done to turn in. I think that's a great thing to get that on the state and national register as a historical building if we can. It opens up some doors for us.
Yep.
That's a work in progress. Yes, Gary actually went with me that day and met with him. And he talked about a lot of things. We have a lot of historical homes in Deerfield. Of course, they've got a program to help us. They'll list all these individual homes people live in on a map, on a plot. The cost of the township for that's about 15 grand now, so that's down the road.
Yeah.
But he kept trying to sell that to us and everything. We kept telling him we're worried about our town hall. We need to preserve it. That opens up some opportunities for grant money and everything for historical preservation. So that we're going to move forward with that. That'll be next meeting. I'll have more information on that. Flowers around the circle. Everyone knows last year we put those flowers right there, 8 of them. I think everyone was happy with them. They look great. I called where they made them for us. They wanted them up there by the end of February. I've already contacted businesses. Every basket that we previously had is already paid for to fill up again from businesses, donations. We've already taken the baskets up there to get filled up. They'll do it right after March 1st. Put them in the greenhouse. When we pick them up, they'll be ready to hang on the circle again. I contacted some people about paying to refill a basket. Several of them said, well, can't we just buy a basket? So we had 3 people offer to purchase another basket. I accepted their offer to purchase the basket. There are going to be 3 more. I ordered 1 more while I was up there to make it even 4. I'm hoping we can get a business to pay for the 4th one. So then we will have 12 baskets. They'll all be alike. We'll hang around the circle. Maybe some of our poles coming in here. Maybe on the old town hall up there. Every year I like to add another couple baskets.
Yep.
So the colors are going to change a little bit. Last year I think they had too much white in it. They're going to put a lot more pink and a little darker colors in this year to try it. Cost was the same as last year, $75 to get them refilled, $150 to buy new one. We ask for donations of $80 to get them filled because we have to purchase fertilizer and some incidentals. So everyone's agreed. Some of the people's already paid for the $80 to refill them. Everybody gave us their money. We're going to turn all that money into the Civics Association and ask them to write 1 check to pay that up there. Is what our plan is, right?
Yes. Okay, I'll pay $80 to have one refill.
They're already also.
Actually, 150 is the only one,
Every one of them is already taken care of.
except for the 150, the new ones.
Including the new ones are paid for, except
What you said.
for 1 new basket. We need a $150 donation for that if we can get it.
Okay, I'll do that.
You will do that? Kay Anderson, thank you very much. Checks will be made out to Deerfield Civics Association.
Well, do I have to have the money in for that?
We're not in a big hurry for it. They're not even going to do them until March. We're not going to pick them up till probably May before Memorial Day. they're gonna hang the greenhouse. So we're not in a big hurry to get the money. We just needed to have up front everybody that's gonna do it so we know. So thank you for that offer, we appreciate that. That's all I have on buildings and grounds stuff. You got anything to add?
Were you able to contact, I know you were in Cole, Ohio, Edison, about the lady that?
Yes, I have. I need a claims number before I contact Ohio Edison. If I don't have the claims number, they come out and fix that pole. They bill the township for that pole that was damaged during that light. I have a number right now that I can give them, and I can contract them to do it now.
I
they
figured that's how
bill?
they're gonna do it, that way they can build this insurance.
Right, they'll bill the insurance, yeah, so. All right, that's all I have. We have a lot of people here. I'm gonna let someone from your organization speak first. I understand you're vice chair of the
Yes.
Historical Society. Would you like to start? I mean, there's a lot of people here, obviously. Would you let us know why you're here?
I'm here for, all of us is here for why we are being charged $50 a month, even though we've already paid, right? Paid since 2012.
We've made donations over the years.
Yes.
We were not charged, but we thought since you were letting us use the hall,
Yes.
we would donate. So we donated money. We've donated $970 over the years
Okay.
to use this hall. And none of us were aware that you were gonna start charging $50 a month. So last year, we had 4 dances that we had no idea that we were gonna owe $50 each dance. And we don't feel that we need to pay that because we were unaware of it.
How about the $50 going forward?
Well, we don't want to do that, but if we have to,
Do it.
No, I can understand there may have been some miscommunications
Very
there.
much.
Wait a minute, so you're talking about September, October, November, December? Now, we didn't come up with that until the organizational meeting, so that wouldn't start until January.
No, we did
No,
that.
we did that.
We did that
Did we
last
do
year.
that?
2022 organizational
I
meeting, we
actually
did
brought
that.
That's right, we
We
did.
had a minute where we
You're right.
reviewed that.
That was
at a
our
public meeting.
organizational meeting for 2021 in January, and it actually says, Mark Bann moved to adopt resolution number 22-12, thereby to charge all organizations holding events other than meetings a rental fee of $50 to assist with the reimbursement of costs incurred to Deerfield Township. Ed Dean seconded the motion, and the roll call was as followed. Mr. Bann, yes. Mr. Dean, yes. Ms. Havens, yes. So that was the resolution that was a year and several months ago.
so when we set up the dances, we were never told about that. We were told there was no COVID protocol or anything like that, but we were never told that we were gonna be charged to have dances.
Well, I know it was done in a public meeting, and I know Tiffany said she would let you guys know. Somebody she did let know, I'm confident she told somebody there. Now, I don't know if they forgot or what.
Which, Saturday informal meetings, we brought it up over a year ago, but the way I understand is when the hall was reserved, no money was given up front. There was a lack of communication.
Yes.
And then the $50 was not per month, that was per dance.
Well, we
Per
don't-
dance, so you guys went from 2 to 1,
Now,
is what you
yeah.
went with, yeah.
Per event.
So it was per event, yes.
Yes.
So I don't know, Ed, you wanna go?
Yeah, there's a lot of people here. This is an unfortunate situation. I'm gonna take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go a little bit of history and everything, why we're where we're at and why we had asked for the $50. In 2002, whatever, we moved to the new town hall from the old town hall. If the old town hall was sitting empty, the Historical Society came up with an idea, can we use this while we get a house done and everything for our storage, for our meetings and everything? Correct so far? Okay, anyway, that's what it was. So, anyway, from that point in time, 2000, whatever it was, are you guys in there right now? Don't hold your meetings and everything?
Not when it's meetings.
Yeah. Your regular meetings, you guys are in there right now, right? So that was 2002, and now we're in 2023. You're still there, that's 20 years later. In that 20 years, have you ever paid an electric bill up there?
No,
Have you ever put gravel in your driveway?
no,
Have you ever made any repairs to the building?
no,
Have you ever donated to replace the roof on the building?
no,
Heat.
Have you ever paid for your heat up there, which we did until 3 years ago when we said we can no longer do it? Have you ever paid for your heat up there?
not that I'm aware of, but
Okay,
That
are you
was
guys,
thousands of taxpayers' money.
are you guys the 501c?
no.
So you're a private business enterprise, basically, that collects money.
We take money in
Okay, what's this money used for?
For the town?
for the township, for the houses, to keep them nice.
For the township or for the houses? The township doesn't own those houses. Those are individually owned by you, so that's...
For preserving historical homes in
Right.
Deerfield Township.
So we can't include Deerfield Township in that. We can, the township, but not the government part of it. That's privately owned. How much money, you guys, when you have your fundraisers, what do you make up here per fundraiser? What did you make in the last 10
How
years?
many people we have in, comes in, sometimes,
They have to pay for the band.
yeah.
They donate.
Right, but how much do you end up making? Do you keep financial records of that?
It's different, like I said.
But you do have records of that for how many years? Do you have records back of how much you've taken in over the years and how much you spent out? Do you have those records by chance?
Yeah.
Okay.
We bought that too, where our money went was for that piece of property between the.
Okay, I'm just clarifying how we came to this position where we had to charge $50. So for 20 years, you've had that up there. By admittance, you put no money into it. The township has done everything it's done, including repairs. We've paid for that, the township.
The taxpayers.
For taxpayers' money for a private group.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
we're clear now.
Which shame on me.
So along with that going on, while you've had that, you've used this building here how many times for a fundraiser? Over the 20 years.
14 years we did.
Okay, 14 years. How many of those years were 2 times a month?
Well, used to, but not,
No,
we just
No,
started.
but how many of them were 2 times a month? How many years? Or 2 times a month for a year? How many years?
I wasn't around then.
Well, we were with 14 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just a general question.
Yeah.
And that, another one, do you have exclusive use of that building up there? Does the township have anything in it, or my road guys store anything in it? Do we have anything, or is that all yours?
And we sit up there and freeze in the winter.
It's all yours, right? Township has nothing in the old town hall up there, right? So it's exclusively yours for 20 years that we paid for, the community paid for, the citizens paid for, by admittance. And during that time, you guys have also used this facility to raise funds. We agree with that, we like that. However, times have changed. The cost that we've given over the 20 years just to use this is astronomical. Someone made the comment, we can't use $50 in toilet paper. No, that's the cost associated with everything. We have to have the floor redone. When people are bringing equipment in, the doors get propped open, the heat goes out in the winter. They take it back out, the heat goes out. In the summer, the air conditioners are propped over. Everybody pees 2 or 3 times while they're here, the commode gets flushed. Salt for water softener, toilet paper, stuff for here, lights, hand soap, anything. If you guys have your meetings in snow and the road guys have to plow this parking lot, install it, and
We had to get the septic.
do the
pump
sidewalk. We just had a problem with the septic system the township had to pay for. We had people in here, a month ago? You and I was out in the cold because we plugged up.
And you rent it out all the time and you're making money. And you rent it out to people and.
They use the.
Bingo, there we are. You guys are coming, how many people come to your
It's
dances?
only 4 hours.
How many come to your dances on average? What'd you have last month, 100 people?
No,
50.
about 50.
All right, that's a lot of wear and tear on the building and the septic system.
The heat.
The policy was never created to single out any one club. It was just to actually let a club have the use of the building and offset the cost to the township. Nobody's after the Historical Society. We support what you want to do. I've come to the dances, they're great. It's just to offset the cost to the taxpayer, so it's not an expense to the taxpayers.
Okay, what we're asking is to not charge us for the dances we didn't know about.
Yeah.
And then if everybody else pays $50 a month, we will do that.
Which I think that,
Well,
I think we
if
could have
it-
communicated
everybody else
that
would be more than
better.
$50 a
We've
month.
had the last.
We've had other organizations that wanted to
Every
run a
month, the last.
Western Reserve. They wanted to use it because they heard that you could come up here, anybody
And
can
if it-
use this, and Deerfield's gonna let you use it
And
to
if
do
it
a
were a club that
fundraiser.
weren't in the township, we
So-
would charge more. It's
So
because you
it
are
was
citizens.
$650, we gave it to them for $400 for a day. I know the Civic for the apple butter, I think they gave $100.
We gave
$100 for,
For the one time.
I mean, that was just one time. What's that?
Every month, the lads and lads.
You don't have to pay if you have a monthly meeting here. We're only
It's
asking
not
if you're
for
doing,
meetings,
if you're
only
having
for
a fundraiser
events.
for a fundraiser, we're
It's
asking for
if you'd like to
$50.
see it, it's just for events.
You can have your meetings, no, we're not talking stuff in any of the monthly meetings. Quoters can meet here, lads and lasses can meet here. Anybody can still meet here for your meeting. We're not asking for money for that.
They use the
But
same
if-
thing, they use toilet paper and electric.
but not at 50 people or 100 people that are here. I mean, I've been up here before, and this place is
And they're not
packed.
serving food and
No,
putting
they
in
dance.
crock pots
But
and
yes.
having a band with the amps and the equipment, it's an added expense.
You don't use amps and stuff for the dance? The equipment that you have to plug in, and you don't serve coffee, and again, it's just a small nominal fee for us to break even. If somebody else in this community, if the Civic wanted to say, we're gonna do something on this night, it's a fundraiser, we're gonna charge them 50.
And every dime we take in goes right back into this community, you know that.
It goes into
It goes into your bank account,
it
basically.
goes into your privately owned.
Give us some examples of where you've donated money to out of your fundraisers in the community.
Well, we just got started back, we was broke.
But you've been doing this for years, so give me an example of where you've
Tell us
donated
about
money
the
to in the
improvements on the
community.
Everett House.
We don't have any money, do we?
Tell us about what you've been doing in the Everett House.
We did the floors.
Okay, but again, that's a privately owned house, that's not owned by the township.
It's what you're doing is good for the
It's
community.
good for the community.
I appreciate what you're doing for the community,
Yeah.
but it's not going straight into the township. They're two separate
We offered to
entities.
trade you some lots for.
There's not those lots.
See?
Yeah.
It's just not,
The way it is right
it's not a fair trade.
The way it is right now, my feeling is everyone in Deerfield Township has supported, whether they wanted to or not, your private club. Because of us allowing all the free stuff that we've given over the years, we feel we've been very generous. Figure out the cost if you'd have to rent this every time that you rented it, what would it cost? What if, you've had that for free up there, you haven't paid any rent, or you admit that.
Sally, did you
We're not
wanna share?
complaining about it, we're just asking you to understand the position, how we got here to where we're asking for $50.
So on 2022, the total electric was $1,029.27.
For the
That's
old town
For the
hall.
old town hall. Now, we do have our light sign up there, so let's just say it's half. There's $500 and some right there in electric. That's right now being paid by taxpayer funds.
Could
you repeat that?
What's that?
We only opened up on 10 o'clock because of the well.
But there's still an electric service there. If you use nothing at all, there's still a nominal fee of $50 or $60 that the electric company charges you just for having the service there. Not whether you use any electric.
But the sign.
This is for the year of 2022, $1,029.
That's just the electric up there, so you say we give $100, $150, that doesn't even pay for a month and a half of electric up there.
It's really not a punishment, we just are trying to cover the costs.
So, my thing was, you know, you were talking about forgiving, I'm willing to give up 2 of the months, you know, because of the communication issue, but I was under this understanding that it was told to you guys after we had our meeting, that it was told to somebody up there, I don't know.
It was a year or so before.
Right, that this is what it was, so the communications, either that person forgot, or it just wasn't reminded. So you're talking about the 4 months, I told Tiffany, I said, you know, I'll forgive 2, or let's start it in January. I mean, I don't care.
Well, I will make a motion
I mean, I would,
that we could have communicated it better. It wasn't even brought to my attention until 4 months after that we weren't collecting the money. You know, I think we could have handled it better. I will make a motion that we forgive the first 4 dances, the September through December, for $50. If we can agree on the club paying for the $50 moving forward.
from December,
From January,
starting in January.
starting in January
And this
to
month.
present.
So that'd be $50 owed at this point.
Correct. Because they have not yet had a dance in February, correct? Okay. So I would make a motion to forgive that $200 in good faith, that it was not communicated, if we can move forward, because I do appreciate what you are doing for the community. I like that you have the dances, I like that we do good things with the historical houses. They're not dumps, they're pretty historical houses. I appreciate all that you do, but we just want to make sure that the taxpayers in the township aren't paying for your fundraisers. You're not a not-for-profit club.
Okay. And I just want to make one comment. If we had known about that, nobody, we never got a bill or anything, so we had no clue.
Okay, let's clarify, we don't send bills.
Okay.
Part of the miscommunication is,
We did in the public
you guys
meeting.
didn't know, or you're saying you didn't know about upfront. We require payment before the facilities are used and a deposit.
And typically a $250 deposit as well, which we have not been
That I will
charged.
wait.
So you guys say you didn't know that. Okay,
Nobody knew about it until a month ago.
I'm not even gonna argue that you didn't, I can understand that. What is your commitment from, if we forgive those 4 months, what is your commitment to us?
We'll pay $50 a month. That's what it's supposed to. But now, you know about it.
Okay?
Per event,
How is that?
Yeah.
That's fair.
per event.
Per event.
Per event.
So if you decide to have 2 dances a month, that would be 100.
And Sally has been itching to say something.
Yes.
Well, I have. Well, first of all, we are all taxpayers.
Right.
And the way you say it is that you're
Yeah.
taxpayers or not. We are all taxpayers.
Right.
When it came to moving into the old town hall, we spent a long time cleaning that out. There was everything in there from baseball to pumps to who knows what. We painted, we really cleaned the inside of it up. So I don't want you to think that we just moved in and la-di-da.
Well, no, but you
We
moved
worked
in.
hard on it.
Sure, you did, but it's been 20 years you've been in there, and 0 rent, no utilities at all. It's all been on the taxpayer's dime. So, we're talking, when we did the heat, it was $200 to $2,500 a year. That was just heat.
Yeah.
Then you had $1,000 for electric, there's $3,500 a year for 20 years.
We
Add it
have
up.
been using it for 20 years, people before that.
How long have you been using it?
it?
Almost 20 years, the people before that was us, the trustees. We moved from that building into here. That was where we held our meetings. And you guys went in
I really
immediately when
think
we moved in
we
here.
all have a common goal is to do good things for Deerfield. The Historical Society, the township, we all have a common goal.
It's just, there's a cost.
And I don't want any of you to think that I don't appreciate the Historical Society. I think you do too. We just want you guys to understand that it does come at a cost to the township, and we just want to share any expense.
Any of you guys that have been around a while, you know the driveway at your house across there, I cut that driveway out and put the stone in. Didn't charge you guys, I did that myself. Beside the fire station. It laid in water, it was a lake back there at the time it rained. I did a job in Palmyra.
We're all on the
I hauled
same
11
team.
dump truckloads of dirt down there in my own truck, dumped them, came down, sprouted out, donated it to you guys. I support you guys too. But the time has come that we can just no longer continue to let everyone have everything for free. We can't do it.
Okay, so you made the motion to start through January, we will start this at $50, and so they will owe the back 50, and then 50 moving forward per event. I will second that.
Yes.
You guys are okay with $50 moving forward, second?
If you disallow,
Yeah, well, the first 4 we'll forget about. We
Then
will-
start January, so you know January, February.
Tiffany made that motion, yes.
Now, the only problem, we cannot tonight say to you
We can't do
that
that.
we're gonna give you $50 every dance because we can't spend a dime without that going through our meeting, and we have to agree, even though we're vocally saying, okay, that sounds better. So we have to have a meeting.
Okay, so then,
Well, maybe you're not charging.
so wait a minute, so at this point, we don't have anything, we don't have any commitment.
I don't get it.
We're not in a position to say that.
I mean, you probably have a quorum of your club right here.
Not necessarily.
No bills on here.
A quorum just is
Well,
the
we only got to
majority.
get people out. Why couldn't we just agree with the $50 and get it over with? Honestly, this is dragging it on.
If you don't agree with the $50, you don't get to rent the hall.
Quite honestly, if
Right.
we don't come to some type of agreement tonight, you guys can't have the February dance.
No.
No, you can't because we have no agreement.
So let's just, okay, everybody
That's
just calm
strictly
down.
business.
Let's move forward with what what we'll agree to, and if you guys can agree to it pending your vote, and just get it straightened out before the February dance, that gives you time.
Well, I do. I agree on it, because I want the dances.
You have a quorum here anyway, so will move forward with that.
You made the motion, you seconded the motion.
Well, no, they
So look,
that's right.
we went ahead.
They have a right to do it.
You guys have a meeting, get back to us and tell us it's approved.
Before I buy it.
The meeting is, for.
Can you do a special meeting?
They have 3 officers right here, don't
Yeah,
they?
I know they have a quorum.
But they haven't advertised to have, well, they're.
They're not a 503(b),
They don't
so they
have
don't have to follow
They don't
it.
advertise. You have 3 officers here. I feel under legally, you guys can make that decision.
Absolutely.
You don't have to have 4 officers, you have to have.
You're not a 501(c)(3), you
So
are
you
just a
have not
private club.
publicly voted, you can do that legally. Legally, you can.
Hey, I'm not involved in that, but I like to make a suggestion, I've been listening to them. You take up for now to do these people this way. Every time something comes from Deerfield, you all gotta get involved. And that's the truth.
How do we get involved?
Let me talk, okay? So the taxpayer pays everything for this right here. And I know they would appreciate it more people than the taxpayer would get in their group. Why do you all have to get involved in it? You're to take care of township with the taxpayer's money.
Correct.
Not the town.
And that's what we're doing, because now we've been using.
Why would you say,
Wait a minute.
listen, I was.
You're asking me a question, I'm gonna answer your question here. Here's your answer.
I don't wanna hear
For the, you don't wanna hear it, but for the last,
Keep
for
your
the
mouth shut.
last
I'm
15
talking.
years, Jerry,
Why? You don't wanna hear
Jerry, listen, you learn more when you listen instead of speaking.
I do.
Listen, you ask me a question,
You don't listen.
I'm gonna answer it.
You don't.
You wanna start, you know what, I'm not, Jerry, I'm not gonna deal with you. You're not gonna deal with you. Oh my God.
These people.
You ask a question.
All along, and not being paid nothing, and you're all, this tax money is to take care of Deerfield.
Correct.
Okay?
But it is a private organization, it is not a
You're
township
welcome, Mayor.
organization.
Are you welcome, Mayor? Are you welcome in this?
I don't know, I was a member, I don't even know if I'm still a member.
I hope I'm still welcome, but when I come, I pay my money.
I paid sadly for a lifetime membership.
We're off the subject here, if you guys agree, you guys agree?
We do need to do a roll call.
Yeah, let's see if you guys agree.
Get back on track.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, let's,
Yes.
Yes.
you guys are, yes.
Okay.
No, just group.
Why can't I come?
Pardon me? How many cookies are there? They're not making money. There's no money making on that. It's a meeting.
So I don't have time before the next meeting to read. But
That was January? Okay, so then. Well, no, let them handle that one. Look, you just gave that money.
Give me $50 so you can hang your damn.
I know, this is just ridiculous.
Anything else from the floor?
You don't want to
I
know?
make a motion, we adjourn our meeting to pay our bills.
Second.
I have another subject, really quick.
Oh, God.
So, these are contracts from last year for softball. We do have, softball wants to come back this year.
Okay.
And as long as, I can't even speak, I'm all fired up. Also, soccer wants to come and play in our fields this year. I've had a meeting with the soccer club and the baseball team, they're all coordinating. So I'm hoping that by the next meeting, they will come and we'll get that all sorted out, just so everybody knows we will have, potentially have baseball again this year, and we will have soccer potentially as well.
Yes.
This is last year's, we'll just renew and we'll discuss that next meeting, just wanted to
Very
give you a
good.
copy.
And
Okay.
we need a representative from each of their group to come and present to us before we do this.
And we will do that.
Yes, Kay.
We have a meeting.
We'll,
Go ahead.
we're agreed to pay $50 a month for the dance.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Just allow the 200.
We already agreed.
Right, it's $50, so it'd be 50 January, 50 February, that's per event. So again, if you guys decide to have 2 dances, then it's 50/50.
It's a done deal. We've already made that motion. We thank you guys for the
Thank you for
patience.
coming.
We're sorry you came to this. Unfortunately, you had to come to it.
All
So,
right, make that motion again.
made
Agree
it.
with it.
Are you done?
I
Everybody
ain't
done?
got no other choice.
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn our meeting and pay our bills.
Second,
Yes,
done. Thank you.
yes.
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 If anybody wants to see the new air packs that the fire department's on, I have a number that we have to
He never spoke up, Scott. I didn't know we wanted to speak.
Yeah.